Today's lesson is called Natural World Thrives Under Corona Lockdown. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff.
My name is Roger, and today we're going to continue talking about how the natural world was able to thrive under the coronavirus lockdown, which took place earlier this year. Now, remember last time we gave you an introduction to the city of Wuhan. They were the first city to declare a lockdown, so everybody had to stay home, and then other countries and other cities around the world followed suit, and lockdown was normal everywhere. But there were some unexpected benefits from this lockdown. We talked about the fact that air pollution levels went down significantly as a result of that.
Oh, yeah. The lockdown was good for, well, not for humanity so much, but it was good for pretty much everything else on planet Earth. Yes, the natural world did really well during the coronavirus lockdown. Yeah, most of the world was under lockdown. Here in Taiwan, we were not under lockdown. But yes, the new normal for a while there was a state of lockdown. Go to your apartment, close the door, and don't come out until the virus has passed. Yeah, this was not good for some people. Some people, well, they just couldn't take it. They couldn't stay inside without going a little bit crazy. But the natural world, hey, it was doing really well during this particular lockdown. Yes, air pollution, it kind of went away in a lot of places. Not entirely, but in a way that you could even see from space. How about that? Anyways, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a short break, but don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Wildlife has also benefited from the lack of human activity. Not long into the global lockdown, wild animals were seen reclaiming the land. In Thailand, leatherback turtles were able to nest on empty beaches. As very few baby turtles managed to survive, this represents a great boost for the threatened species. It wasn't only turtles that found more freedom, though. Other animals became increasingly bold and began to enter places usually reserved for humans. Deer were spotted in people's gardens, and wild boar, sheep, goats, and even kangaroos were seen on city streets.
大家好，第一部分我们看到单字 wildlife， 这个字是不可数名词，指野生动物、野生物种。例如 Ingrid was amazed by the elephants, zebras, lions, and other wildlife in Africa. 大象、斑马、狮子等非洲野生动物令 Ingrid 感到惊奇不已。或是 The organization's purpose is to help protect African wildlife. 此机构的目标是帮助非洲野生物种。接着我们看到名词 boost， 指帮助、促进、提高、增加。例如 The sugar in the candy bar helped give me a boost of energy. 糖果里的糖分帮助我提振元气。另外，这个字也可以当动词，指提高、促进、推动。我们可以说 Sales of the musician's single were boosted after an appearance on a talk show. 那位音乐人上了一个脱口秀节目之后，单曲销量增加了。再补充一个相关片语 get a boost， 表示获得提升、提振，像是 The company's sales got a boost from a recent news story that drew attention to their products. 最近一则新闻让他们的产品受到关注，而使这间公司的销售量大增。再来，我们看到一个单字 reserve， 这个字是动词，指保留、预留，像是 be reserved for 加上 somebody or something， 就表示保留给点点点。例如 These seats are reserved for disabled passengers. 这些座位是保留给身障乘客的。另外，这个字也可以当名词，指野生动物保护区。举例来说 The government established a reserve to protect local animals. 政府设置了保护区，保护当地的动物。
Okay, today we're talking about wildlife. Yeah, last time we kind of talked about how air pollution kind of went away. Air became clean. People started to realize, hey, this clean air stuff, it's pretty good, but also this lack of air pollution, it was good for the environment. It was good for animals, apparently, as well. And we'll learn more about that and just how wildlife kind of thrived during the coronavirus lockdown. So let's go ahead and get started. The first sentence of today's lesson says, wildlife has also benefited from the lack of human activity. Yeah, we weren't burning those fossil fuels anymore in our factories or in our cars, and this was good for wildlife. This and also just a general lack of human activity.
Wildlife is a general term for animals that live in the wild. They're not your pet cats, dogs, birds, hamsters, and stuff like that. These are animals that live freely in the world, like bears and wolves and foxes and birds and stuff like that. You get the idea. Wildlife. That's a general term for all that life, and they benefited from the lack of human activity. Not long into the global lockdown, wild animals were seen reclaiming the land. There were all sorts of examples and all sorts of pictures of animals going into cities freely with nobody there to stop them. They weren't getting run over by cars and buses like they normally would. So yes, indeed, we saw lots of scenes of wild animals claiming back the land that was once theirs.
They were reclaiming the land. Yeah. Get this, in Thailand, leatherback turtles were able to nest on empty beaches. Yeah, for years and years and years, beaches in Thailand have been just covered in tourists. Yeah, but during the lockdown, there was no tourism. Nobody was traveling for the most part, and people were staying inside of their homes. So those beaches were deserted. Okay, there were no people there at all. So these sea turtles, these leatherback turtles, they were able to reclaim their beaches, and they were able to nest on these empty beaches. How cool.
And let's go on and talk some more about those turtles. It says, as very few baby turtles manage to survive, this represents a great boost for the threatened species. So usually the baby turtles do not have a good chance of surviving, and having all those sunbathers there on those beaches doesn't help either. And since now the baby turtles have been able to survive, this represents a great boost for these leatherback turtles, this particular species of sea turtles. So you've got different kinds of animals, different species. They're different from other turtles, but they're still able to reproduce with each other. And hey, this phenomenon, this event represents a great boost. To represent just means to stand for something. It means that thing.
There you go. These leatherback turtles, they'll dig a hole, okay, lay eggs in that hole, cover it back up, and then one day those eggs will hatch, and the baby turtles, they climb out of that hole and they go into the surf there, and it's kind of dangerous. As these little baby turtles are emerging from the nest, birds like to eat them, and if they get to the water, then other fish and stuff like to eat them. It's tough for these baby turtles. Yeah, very few baby turtles managed to survive, but the fact that there were more nests, this was a good thing. More eggs were laid, there were more nests, so there were more baby turtles, so more could survive, and this represented or was a great boost for the threatened species. Yeah, not many of these leatherback turtles exist anymore. It's a threatened species, so yes, this was a very good development for this particular species of turtles.
And hopefully those turtles won't get caught in fishing nets and stuff like that. And it goes on to say, it wasn't only turtles that found more freedom, though. Okay, the turtles were not the only species of animal to benefit. Other animals became increasingly bold and began to enter places usually reserved for humans. So if you're bold, that means you're kind of brave and you're doing something you probably shouldn't be doing. So they got kind of bold here, and they began to enter places that are usually reserved for humans. Okay, like, residential areas or city centers. Those are places usually reserved for humans. Reserve here kind of means that you have dibs on that thing, or you have the right to that thing and nobody else should have that. You want to reserve a table at a restaurant if it happens to be a popular restaurant. But in this particular case, it just means these are areas that humans usually dominate.
There you go. These places are usually reserved for humans. Now, more on these bold animals. Deer were spotted in people's gardens, and wild boar, sheep, goats, and even kangaroos were seen on city streets. How cool is that? And this kind of makes sense. Nobody was out in their automobiles. They were all back at home with their doors closed. So all of a sudden, city roads were quiet and animals started thinking, you know what? There's nothing to be afraid of. So they started wandering into public spaces, into people's gardens, and even onto city streets. Amazing. All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a short break, but don't go away. When we come back, we'll be wrapping up our lesson.
The news hasn't been all good, however. Along with other businesses, conservation organizations have had to close their doors and cease their important work, at least for the time being. There is also concern that the illegal trade in wild animals, which many hoped would end due to infection fears, may actually increase as people lose their regular income and become more desperate. It remains to be seen whether the positive environmental effects of the 2020 global lockdown will be long-lasting or just a temporary reprieve as humans attempt to return to business as usual.
第二部分我们看到单字 conservation 这个字是名词，指保育、保存。举例来说，We need to care more about the conservation of natural resources if we want to save the environment. 若我们想要保护环境，就必须更关心天然资源的保存。另外，除了上面的意思，这个字还可以指节约能源，像是 Energy conservation is essential for limited energy resources. 节能对有限的能源来说是必要的。接下来我们看到动词 cease 指停止、终止，例如Farmers in the field ceased working just before sunset. 田里的农夫在日落前停止工作，或是 After the rain ceased, the children went outside to play. 雨停了之后，小朋友就跑到外面玩耍。最后，我们看到名词 reprieve 指暂时缓解、延缓，像是 We had been giving a reprieve from the summer heat when a timely rain fell. 一场及时雨暂时缓解了夏日的高温。
Okay, so that sounds pretty good for the natural world. The animals are able to reclaim areas and take them back from humans, but, well, that sounds like only a temporary situation. It's only a matter of time before schools and factories open up again, and those animals are going to have to head back to the woods and forests that they were hanging around in before. So the news hasn't been all good, however. It does sound like it's been good news, but it hasn't been all good news. Along with other businesses, conservation organizations have had to close their doors and cease their important work, at least for the time being. So, yeah, the animals are free to roam around, but we've got these conservation organizations. Well, they've had to close their doors. They've had to close. They can't operate. They're supposed to stay home. And so, as a result, they're not able to protect the environment like they used to.
Yeah, just like these other businesses, these conservation organizations, they had to shut down, okay? They couldn't operate during the lockdown. They closed their doors, maybe not permanently, but at least they closed their doors temporarily. So that's what this phrase along with means here, okay? It means together with, okay? That's the idea here. By the way, if you cease in doing something, okay, you stop doing that thing. So these conservation organizations, what do? They help out Mother Nature. They might help animals, let's say. Well, if they've got to stop work, who's going to help these animals? That's not a good thing. So the news hasn't been all good. And the first thing I thought about is, hey, during the lockdown, who goes to the zoo and feeds the animals? Gosh, I hope the animals in zoos in the United States, let's say, I hope that they got taken care of.
Now, there is also concern that the illegal trade in wild animals, which many hoped would end due to infection fears, may actually increase as people lose their regular income and become more desperate. So, yes, people thought that, well, the business in illegal trade in wild animals may go down, okay, like selling body parts from different animals, shark fin, and rhino horn and stuff like that.
Pangolin scales.
Pangolin scales, etc., etc. Everybody was thinking, okay, people are going to be afraid of getting infected by being in contact with those animals, so they probably won't sell those animals so much. But still, sales in those animals may actually go up. The sales might actually increase because, hey, people don't have the income and they might think, hey, we still need to, put food on our table. We need to feed our wives and our children. We still need to sell those pangolins to get their scales.
There you go. Right now, people, they're being challenged as far as their regular incomes are concerned, so they might just become desperate. By the way, if you are desperate, you've got no other choice. So you have to do something maybe crazy, strange, or extreme because you have no other option, no other choice. You have to do this thing because you can't do anything else. You have become desperate.
I'm desperate to find a new job, otherwise I'm going to starve to death, okay? So yes, indeed, some of these people are getting more desperate, so they may sell those illegal animals. It remains to be seen whether the positive environmental effects of the 2020 global lockdown will be long-lasting or just a temporary reprieve as humans attempt to return to business as usual. So if something remains to be seen, that means we just don't know yet. It remains to be seen. It's still in a situation in which nobody knows. So it remains to be seen. We just don't know whether those positive effects of the environment will be long-lasting or whether they'll just be temporary.
Yeah, we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It remains to be seen. This whole situation is still developing. We don't know how things are going to turn out, so it remains to be seen whether the positive environmental effects are going to be long-lasting or just temporary. Anyways, here we have the adjective environmental. That means of or having to do with the environment. So here we had some positive environmental effects. Yes, there was the COVID-19 lockdown, and this was good for the natural world. Now, we also have this word reprieve. A reprieve is kind of like a period of rest and relaxation, okay? Usually, though, when you're talking about a reprieve, you're talking about someone getting out of a stressful situation or being taken out of that situation temporarily.
That's right, a reprieve. Or, of course, sometimes it refers to somebody who's supposed to be killed for their crime. It means that they don't have to be punished, at least for the time being. So, yeah, again, it remains to be seen whether the effects are going to be long-lasting or just temporary, a temporary reprieve, as humans attempt to return to business as usual. So here we've got the word attempt, which means they try basically to return to life as usual, business as usual, life like it was before. Okay, that brings us to the end of our discussion for today. Here comes our Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文最后一句写到说 It remains to be seen whether the positive environmental effects of the 2020 global lockdown will be long-lasting or just a temporary reprieve. 好，这边我们要介绍的是 It remains to be seen 加上 whether 或是 if 引导的子句。好，其中这个 remain to be seen 是用来描述还不确定的，仍是未知数的，目前状况不清楚，仍有待观察的。好，那我们用句型 It remains to be seen 加上这个 whether 或是 if 引导的子句，就是表达说是否怎么样尚不能确定，还有待观察。那么其中的 it 是虚主词，它真正的主词是 seen 后面接的名词子句，也就是要持续观察注意的事物。像课文句子里面真正的主词是 whether the positive environmental effects 一直到最后这个 just a temporary reprieve， 也就是2020年全球封锁对环境的正面影响将会持续很久或只是暂时缓解这一件事情。好，那么 it 就是用来代指它，那么 it remains to be seen 表示这件事情有待观察。 例如 It remains to be seen if the strike will take place as planned. 罢工是否按照计划举行仍是未知数，这件事还有待观察。好，那么另外 It remains to be seen 后面也可以接 WH 疑问词所引导的名词子句，像是 It remains to be seen who will win the competition. 谁会赢得比赛尚未见真章。顺便补充一个相关的句型哦。What remains to be seen is 再加上 whether 或者是 if 或者是 WH 疑问词所引导的子句，也可以用来表达什么什么还是未知数。那么其中的 what remains to be seen 本身就是一个名词子句，用来当主词用，必须把它视为单数，所以我们看到它后面是搭配单数动词 is。 好，像我们刚刚造的例句就可以改成 What remains to be seen is who will win the competition。 好，再看到课文句子里面有一个复合形容词是 long-lasting， 它是表达持久的、持续的，像 long-lasting fame 表示持久的名气， long-lasting growth 表示持续的成长。那其实有不少复合形容词是由 long 搭配现在分词 VING 或者是过去分词 PP 所组成的。我们来看几个例子。第一个 long-standing， 它是用来形容长期存在的、由来已久的，像 a long-standing argument 表示存在许久的争论。第二个补充的是 long-suffering， 长期忍受的，像有一些球迷啊，他们支持的队伍一直都没有赢，然后我们就可以形容他们是 long-suffering fans， 闷了很久的球迷啊。好，第三个补充的是 long-lived， 是表示长命的，那相对的说法是 short-lived， 就是短命的。第四个是 long lost， 失散已久的、久未见面的，像 long lost brother 就可以表达失散已久的哥哥。好，第五个 long-winded， 它是形容冗长的、啰嗦的，那么像 long-winded comments 表示冗长的评论。好，那么以上今天重点整理，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Represent. This flag represents our country, so please treat it with respect. Species. There are more species of beetles than any other kind of animal. Reserve. The front row is reserved for the graduates' families. Cease. The soldiers were ordered to cease fighting immediately. Desperate. Sally was desperate to recover the pictures she had lost on her smartphone. Environmental. Scientists are researching the environmental impact of global warming. Attempt. Laura attempted to get up earlier on weekends, but she failed.
Discussion Starter starts now!
Okay, folks, now it's time for our discussion starter. Hey, Roger. Do you think the benefits of the lockdown will be temporary or long-lasting? Why or why not?
Well, I think people will make sure that the benefits are long-lasting because people really want everyone else to survive. We're all in this together. If we kind of screw up our world, then we're all going to be flushed down the toilet at the same time. How do you feel about that?
Sadly, I don't think the benefits will be permanent because money makes the world go round. It's a saying, but it's also true. People, they want to get back to work. They want to work and make money, and that means that, yes, people will be getting into cars again and burning fossil fuels and reopening factories and stuff like that. So sadly, I don't think these benefits will be permanent. I think they'll only be temporary. Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.